everybody doing? How you guys doing? Woo! Yes, that was a better response than I was hoping for. Thank you guys for surpassing my expectations. Hey, my name is KJ if we haven't met. This is my friend Mackenzie. I didn't introduce her in Jeezy, so can you guys just go crazy? This is Mackenzie, you guys! Yes. Told you I'd make it up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That's all the applause you should have gotten the first time too, but I ruined it, you guys. Well, hey, like I already said, this is Rev, and this is the time where we get to gather together on our Wednesday night. That is the time that we have chosen to gather in a place like this, and we get to worship. We get to sing songs to Jesus, to remind ourselves who he is and what he's doing in our lives, along with all our friends in Lakeville and Rochester and Wayzata. What's up, you guys? I see you. I know you're there. We can feel your collective presence.
And online.
And online. See, there's just so many things.
Yeah, so many things
I'm
to
just
remember.
dropping the ball today.
Online, we love you.
Unreal.
And welcome.
Any old way. We're going to keep singing those same songs. Thank you, John. I feel your encouragement, man. I love you. Jay-Z, yeah. Remember John, you guys. Isn't he the best? Well, anyway, let's keep singing. I haven't seen some of you guys in a while since we went to the Rev Retreat. So let's keep that going. This is a song for the valley, for the harder days. Something to remind me when I've lost my way. And even though it's dark right now, I know morning comes, 'cause you're the God of the promise. What you say is done. In the burden, I'm surrounded, still my soul will hold to all you say. You're my refuge and strength, my yes and amen. Put my trust in your name, 'cause you never failed me yet. You're the breaker of chains, defeated the grave. All my hope in your name, 'cause you never failed me yet. That's right. This is a prayer for the desert, and the road seems long. Waiting for the promise that is yet to come. And even in the wilderness, you will lead me home. 'Cause Jesus, you are with me. You're my only hope. In my failures and through my weakness, still my soul will hold to all you say. You're my refuge and strength, my yes and amen. Put my trust in your name, 'cause you never failed me yet. You're the breaker of chains, defeated the grave. All my hope in your name, 'cause you never failed me yet. No. You never failed me yet. You never failed me yet. Oh, we never will. Sing to Jesus because he is worthy to be praised. Right, let's sing this out. You're not in it, I don't want it. If you said it, I believe it. Where you call me, I will follow. 'Cause you never failed me yet. You're not in it, I don't want it. If you said it, I believe it. Where you call me, I will follow. Oh, come on, lift it up. You're not in it, I don't want it. If you said it, I believe it. Where you call me, I will follow. 'Cause you never failed me yet. You're not in it. If you said it, oh, call me, I will follow. 'Cause you, come on, Rev, one more time. You're not in it, and if you said it, God, where you call me, 'cause you never failed me yet. Hallelujah. Come on, Red, let's keep it going. Let's keep singing. Sing it out together. I've carried a burden for too long on my own, and I wasn't created to bear it alone. I hear your invitation to let it all go. I see it now, laying it down, and I know that I need you. So I'll run to the Father, I fall into grace. I'm done with the hiding, no reason to wait. My heart needs a surgeon, my soul needs a friend. So I'll run to the Father again and again and again and again. Oh, 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 oh. You saw my condition, had a plan. Your son for redemption, the Christ. And I don't have a context for that kind of love. I don't understand, can't comprehend. All I know is I need you. So I run to the Father, I fall into grace. Done with the hiding, no reason to wait. My heart needs a surgeon, my soul needs a friend. So I run to the Father again and again and again and again. Oh, oh, and again and again and again and again. Oh, my heart has been in your sight long before my first breath. Running into your arms is running to life from death. And I feel this rush deep in my chest. Your mercy is calling out. Just as I am, you pull me in, and I know I need you now. So I run to the Father, I fall into grace. I'm done with the high. Rev, let's pray together. Jesus, I know that it can be really tough to give up what we feel like is control over certain things in our lives. Maybe we feel like we can just hold on tight enough or try our absolute best and things will turn out okay somehow, but that's not what your word says. Jesus, you tell us to bring our burdens, to bring ourselves exactly as who we are, lay them at the foot of the cross. And no, you don't promise that our lives will be any easier. That's not what you say. But you do promise that as we walk through these things, as we walk through these trials, you'll be right there with us. When we get tired, you will share the load with us, and you can bear the weight of our sins, bear the weight of our struggles. For that, you are good and you are worthy to sing to and worthy of our praise. So Jesus, I pray as we keep going tonight that you will begin to open up our ears to hear and our hearts to receive the word that you have in store for us tonight. And as we go to our small groups, maybe a light will turn on for the first time and we'll see or hear something for the first time in a brand new way through those that you have surrounded with us. Jesus, we love you and we thank you. And every heart said, amen. Rev, it's so good to sing with you. Grab a seat.
What's up, Rev? Good to sing with you again. Good to be back with you after Thanksgiving. Did anyone have a good Thanksgiving? Three people did. Good. Well, for those three, I'm really happy for you. Glad you're back. Welcome to Revolution. If this is your first time here tonight, welcome to you especially. I hope you've enjoyed it so far. This is a place you belong. Here's what happens every night. You hang out in the lobby, you get to have some fun out there. We come in here and we worship every single week. Then there's a message just for you as high school students. And after that, we head out into the building all over into small groups. And if you're new here tonight and you're not in a small group, you gotta be in a small group because it's the best thing we do. And here's why. I'm your student pastor. My name is John. And really, I wish I could be friends with every single one of you. I wish I could know all of you really well. And I'm always open to talk. Like if you wanna talk with somebody, if you have questions, if you want somebody to pray for you, like that's what I'm here to do for you. But I can't know there's just too many of you. I wish I could know every single one of you, but there's too many of you. And so if you wanna be known by other people here, you gotta join a small group. That's where it happens. That's where you get to know other people and where you're known by other people. And so if you're not in a small group, you gotta sign up tonight. You can do it super easy. You just go out to a table. There's some friends out there, some volunteers. They're waving, they're friendly. They'll get you in a small group with people your same age. So you just get to talk about what happened in here, talk about your life, but get in a small group. If I can encourage you to do anything tonight, it'd be jump into a small group. But we also like to have a little bit of fun every week too. We have fun here. We do serious things, but we also have some fun. And we're doing that tonight with a stage game. And the game is an all play, so everyone is in. If you're here, you're playing, you're in, you're part of it. And man, I love when everyone groans at that. There's nothing that gets me more excited for all plays than when people groan. So if you're in, stand up, you're in, you're playing, you got a chance to win. And here's what we did, all right? We're all about truth here. And so we sought the definitive source of truth known as Instagram polls, all right? So the game is polarizing polls, Christmas edition. So essentially what the game is there were some polls that people put up on Instagram, and you have to guess which poll won. Not which one you would choose, so it's not what you're choosing, you have to guess which one you think won. So let's bring up the first example. Okay, do you put a star or an angel on top of your Christmas tree? So if you think, again, this is not what you do, but whatever you think people voted, you're guessing which one of those two things won the vote. So if you think it's star, go to this side of the room. You gotta shuffle a little bit. You're gonna have to use a lot of your energy, I know. I'm asking you to move, I'm asking a lot. You can do it though, I believe in you. Okay, if you think it was an angel, shuffle to this side of the room. If you get it right, you stay standing. If you get it wrong, you take a seat. And there's no way you can already have it wrong, Mackenzie. There's just no way. You must be sitting guessing this side. Okay, good. I thought so. You're the only one. That's all right. Is anyone else? I'm just going to trust your integrity. You. Okay, and Amanda. Is it star or angel? The answer is star. Oh, definitively star. All right. Well, hey, take a seat. Oh, done. All right. Perfect. Easy. That was easy for you guys. Okay. You can shuffle back to the middle. Online, if you're watching this, if you're playing along, just throw it in the chat. We'd love to see what you say. And we're glad you're here online. Thank you. Okay, next one. Okay. Would you rather decorate Christmas cookies or a Christmas tree? What are you decorating? You want to decorate the Christmas tree, Go to the, not what you want to do actually. What you think won the poll. Again, this isn't, you gotta go, if you don't agree with this, it doesn't matter. You gotta choose the one you think won. If you think Instagram wants to decorate a tree, go to this side. If you think they want to decorate a cookie, go to this side. You gotta put yourself into the mind of Instagram, all right? Which is a dangerous place to be. Instagram is crazy, all right? No one sane is on there. But you gotta put yourself into the mind of Instagram. Is it tree or cookies? We'll see. The answer is tree. It was tree, 57%. All right, if you're on this side, stay standing. If you're on that side, take a seat. Everyone give Macy a little round of applause. She did pretty good. She tried. She did real good. Well done. Okay, that's all right. You made it past the first round. Well done. Okay, next one. Hot cocoa or eggnog? What do you think Instagram chose? Eggnog on this side. Do you think Instagram chose eggnog, or do you think Instagram chose hot cocoa? Eggnog is better, thank you, right. I don't know if they chose it either, but eggnog is what they should have chosen. So good, Kemp's Golden Eggnog, so good. All right, the answer is, hot cocoa by a landslide. I'm with you though, Levi, shouldn't have been the right answer. Okay, if you didn't get it right, go ahead, take a seat. We'll do one more out there. What's the next one? Ooh, the movie Elf or Grinch? What do you think? Does Instagram love Elf or Grinch more? Do you think they love Grinch? Go to this side. If you think Instagram loves Elf, go to this side. Instagram, are they a sucker for the Grinch or Elf, the movie? Okay, we got some people shifting. Is Tom going that way? We'll believe him. Okay, the answer is the Elf. Not the Elf, the Grinch Elf. It was Elf. Okay, who's still in? Who's still in? Come on up. Come on up. Come on up. Yeah, come on up. Up. Yeah, whoever's pointing in the back, come on up. There you go. Bring them all up. Bring them all up. Whoever I just pointed at, come on up. Nice. Okay. Is Taylor coming up? Gosh. I'll put my money on Taylor. No, everyone's good. Okay. These are the elimination rounds, all right? So we're gonna, again, just go to the side of the stage that you think is the right one. So let's bring up the next poll. Skis or snowboard? What do you think? Skis on this side, snowboard on that side. Skis, snowboard, skis, snowboard. Okay, we got locked in. Answer is board. Oh, just barely by 5%. Oh, close. Sorry, Taylor, goodbye. Your small group is disappointed with you from the back. Okay, next one, next poll. Snowball fight or sledding? What do you think? Snowball fight on this side, sledding on this side. Snowball fight, sledding. Which one does Instagram love more? Gosh, if you get this right, you're the winner. Did she get it right? The answer is sledding. Not even close. Instagram does not like snowball fights. Goodness. It's an app of peace. No war, just sledding in peace. Okay, next one. Let's see. What's the better Christmas movie? Christmas Vacation on this side, Home Alone on that side. Christmas Vacation, Home Alone. Okay, everyone's going Home Alone. The answer is Home Alone, you're right. High schoolers are too smart. You're like, I voted on that poll. I know which one won. Dang it. Okay, next one. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? No on this side, yes on this side. If you've watched The Office, the answer is yes. Greatest Christmas movie of all time. It's the greatest Christmas movie of all time. The answer is not yes, no, what? Who made this poll? They're wrong. Instagram's wrong. I'm sorry, you guys can take a seat. You're still in. Okay, if you three will come to the middle. We're gonna do one last one. The first one to get to the side locks it in, okay? So it's a race, so you gotta go fast. The first one to whichever side is there. We got 3 people, so it's gonna be weird, but I'll let you know how this is gonna work. So confusing. The question is, more fun, giving or opening? Ooh, okay, maybe we'll see what happens. The answer is giving. Okay, it's these two. We'll do one more, but you guys can't go to the same one, all right? Is that fair? So you gotta go to separate sides, so you gotta be quick. Next one. NBA or NCAA? Oh, the answer is the NCAA. Addison Shires for the win. I don't know, what's the difference? Addison's like, I don't know, I just saw letters and I walked. Okay, Addie, you won. Step this way, you know what's next. If you are new again tonight, we get one shot, one opportunity. Whenever you guys are ready. So Addie, here's what you won too, by the way. You can step into the light. you won this giant thing of cheese balls. No matter what, you walk out of here with this. And you can take your one shot. The pot rolls up every single week. It's a Chick-fil-A gift card on the line. If you make it, you win it. If you lose, it goes up $1 for the next week. Whoa, hey, not a bad shot. Well done, Addie. You can find a seat. Take your cheese balls with you, though. You're still a winner, all right? Everyone give Addie a round of applause. Well done, Addie. Okay, Revolution, 2 weeks from now, we've got Festival of Festiveness. And if you want to know what that looks like, check out this video. Daniel and Mark are going to remind you what it's all about.
Hey everyone, it's Mark and Daniel here because Festival of Festiveness is just around the corner.
And we are pumped because Ground Zero and Revolution are combining for the biggest Christmas party of the year on the best night of the week.
Middle school and high school are gonna have one party from 6:30 to 8:30 at every one of our campuses. And there's gonna be so many fun games, competitions, free food, and a great Christmas message.
And to top it off, we are all gonna dress in the same Christmas color.
Do you wanna show them the color?
Absolutely, I do.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Dude, we decided on red.
No, we chose green.
We said red.
I think you mean green.
No, red.
No, green.
Red. Green.
Okay. Revolution, 2 weeks. Don't dress up next week, 2 weeks from now. What color are you all? Red. Dress up in red, all right? There's a costume contest. You win points for dressing up. The winner of the costume contest gets a $100 Amazon gift card, all right? So you're gonna have a real bougie Christmas if you win the costume contest. It's worth dressing up. And hey, high schoolers, if I can talk to you just for a second, you're with middle schoolers, and the first thing you might think with that is like, oh, lame, middle schoolers? But here's my challenge to you, high school students. 2 things. 1, you're gonna get overwhelmed by middle school students if you don't invite friends, all right? There's just more of them than there are of you here right now. So you gotta invite friends so you don't get swarmed. But my second encouragement is you all get to lead the way that night in what it looks like to follow Jesus, right? Middle schoolers look up to you so much, and you get to show them what it looks like to follow Jesus. You get to show the middle school students what it looks like to be a red student and follow Jesus. So I think you're up for it. I think you can do it. And I'm gonna challenge you to do that even. And last but not least, unrelated to Christmas, but today is Tyler's birthday. So if everyone can say, happy birthday, Tyler, give him a yell. Happy birthday, Tyler. Happy birthday. Okay, that's all I got for you, Rev. Dress up in 2 weeks, Festival of Festiveness, 6:30. Make sure you know the time. Look online if you need to know the details, and I'll see you there. All right, donations. You'll hear it in the message. You'll hear it in the message. All right, love you, Rev. Good to be with you all. Check out this video, and then welcome Daniel when he comes out.
What's up, Rev? It's good to see you all. What's up, everybody here at Lino, at all of our other locations, online. I hope you had an amazing Thanksgiving. I hope you ate way too much food. If you didn't eat too much, did you even Thanksgiving? I don't know. And I also hope you got to spend some quality time with some people that really matter to you. I also hope you took some time on Thanksgiving to actually practice what Thanksgiving's about, which is gratitude. Because no matter what our lives are like, I think we can all find something to be thankful for. One of the things that I'm thankful for is that I'm back here with you. We had 2 amazing weeks of Rev Retreat up at Trout Lake Camp, and now we are back in action after Thanksgiving, and we are continuing in our series called Life Hacks. Life hacks. And what we're talking about in this series is some really cool life hacks that aren't from TikTok, They're not from YouTube. They're actually straight out of the Bible. Because the Bible is full of truth and advice to help us make the most out of our lives. And so we started this series off talking about the life hack of prayer and how prayer helps connect us to God. And then we talked about the life hack of gratitude, which was good timing heading into Thanksgiving, I think, and how gratitude actually is one of the keys to experiencing happiness in life. And tonight I want to talk about another incredibly important life hack from the Bible. But before I do that, let's talk about bad life hacks for a moment. Can we do that? Because the reality is, not all life hacks are created equal, are they? Like some life hacks are amazing, like borderline mind-blowing. Some life hack videos I've seen is stuff that I never would have thought of in a million years. But some life hacks are just downright dumb. And probably my favorite person on the entire internet right now is this guy. You guys know who this guy is? This guy's name is KB Lame. And he is the #1 TikToker in the world. He has more followers on TikTok than anyone in the world. And he is making a fortune right now simply by making fun of bad life hacks without ever saying a single word. Now, a lot of you, raise your hand if you know who this guy is. Raise your hand. All of our locations online, you know who this guy is. Okay, most of you. But just in case you don't, I picked a few of his videos that are my favorite. Check these out. This man makes millions of dollars doing this. It's amazing. And you wanna know why I think his videos are so popular? Because he points out the obvious. You don't need a life hack for things you already know how to do. You know what I'm saying? You do not need a life hack, a knife to peel a banana. Everybody already knows how to do that, okay? You do not need a life hack for how to put tape around a fork. You just need a spoon. And you do not need a life hack for how to put zip ties around a cup to make a handle. You just pick it up. Hello. That is why I love that guy. You don't need a life hack for things that everyone already knows how to do. What we need life hacks for is for things that we all want to do, but we don't really know how to do. And the hack that I want to talk to you about today is I want to talk about a perfect example of something I think just about all of us want to do, but not many of us really know how to do or are very good at. Tonight, I want to talk to you about the life hack of giving. And when it comes to giving, here's why I believe we need a life hack. I want to take a poll across all of our locations and online. If you want to be a generous person, raise your hand. That's just about all of us. I'm having faith in all of those of you who I can't see. Just about all of us want to be people that are giving and generous. Now, let me take another poll. How many of you wish you were more generous than you are? That's just about all of us, myself included. And that's exactly my point. See, giving is one of those things that most of us want to do, most of us know we should do, but we don't actually do as much as we want, do we? That's why we need a life hack. Like, I know for me, one of the hardest things I have a hard time giving is food. Anybody else out there have a hard time sharing food? Okay, it's okay. Be honest. This is my confession moment. Confession is good for the soul. I have trouble giving up food. I love it. I eat a lot of it. And just about every time I sit down at a restaurant with my wife, she asks me if she can have a bite of my food. And once again, I'm just confessing, I'm being honest with all of you. The first thing I feel is not generous, okay? The first thing I feel is, no, you can't have a bite of my food. Like, it's messed up, I know. Here I have literally devoted my life to this woman, had a covenant before God and people, and I can't share a bite of my sushi? Like, pray for me, okay? Like, I need Jesus, I have problems. But if we're honest, I think we all struggle with giving certain things, don't we? A lot of us might struggle being willing to give up our time. Maybe you struggle being willing to give up your possessions. And I think we can really struggle being willing to give our money. As a matter of fact, there's been some research done on just how much money Christians actually give. And the reality is, it's not very much. Here's what this research found about how much Christian gives. They found that 1 out of every 4 Christians in America gives $0. That's 0 with 1 O. 0. And this research found that the median amount, that means the middle point given by American Christians in a year, is $200. Now, $200 might sound like a lot when you're in high school, but this research was done on adults with full-time jobs. And that means that the average adult American Christian gives 0.5% of their income, and they spend the other 99.5% on themselves. Now, if you are a follower of Christ, this is so far from what Jesus has called us to. See, Jesus modeled for us a lifestyle of sacrificial giving and of generosity. And if you and I consider ourselves to be his followers, then our lives should look like his too. Jesus calls everyone who follows him to live a lifestyle of giving and generosity, and not just when it comes to our money, but when it comes to our time, our talents and abilities, and our possessions as well. Most of us want to live this way. We just don't know how. So we need a life hack for giving. We need the Bible to teach us how to actually live a lifestyle of generosity and help us not just be people who give once in a while whenever we feel like it. So what I want to do is I want to dig into a story that Jesus told in the Bible that I think has 3 keys to helping us unlock a lifestyle of giving. Here's the first key. It's this: to see yourself as a servant and a steward and not an owner. I'm gonna say that again. I think the first key to living a truly generous lifestyle when it comes to your stuff, what you have, is to see yourself as a servant and a steward, not an owner. Here's the story that Jesus tells. He says, again, the kingdom of heaven can be illustrated by the story of a man going on a long trip. He called together his servants and entrusted his money to them. I want to keep this up here. I don't want you to miss these 2 things. What role do the people who receive the money play? They are servants. That's their role in this kingdom. And when it comes to the kingdom of God, if you're a follower of Jesus, that's our role too. And whose money do these people receive in this story? It's their master's money, isn't it? And I don't want you to miss the reality that they are servants and they are stewards of someone else's money. What is given to them is not actually theirs. The money that they receive isn't actually owned by them. Here's what happened. The story continues. It says, he gave 5 bags of silver to one, 2 bags of silver to another, and 1 bag of silver to the last, dividing it in proportion to their abilities. And then he left on his trip. Everything these servants had was given to them by their master so they could steward it and build his kingdom, not so they could spend it on themselves. That's what Jesus is trying to show us. I think what he wants us to see and understand in this part of the story is that this is exactly how it works in his kingdom as well, is that you and I, if we're ever gonna be truly generous, if we're ever gonna live a lifestyle of giving, we have to see ourselves first and foremost as servants and stewards, not as owners. Look what the Bible says in Psalm 24, verse 1, about who actually owns everything. It says this, the earth is the Lord's and everything in it. The world and all its people belong to him. God alone is the owner of everything. Everything we have has actually been entrusted to us by God. Our money, our abilities, our relationships, even our very life is actually not our own. It's something that's been given to us by God for us to steward for his kingdom. And if we are gonna live a lifestyle of giving, then we have to understand that nothing we have really actually belongs to us in the first place. God's the owner, and we're the stewards and the servants. I want you to think about it like this. I need one volunteer who wants to help me out. One person, raise your hand. Right here at Lino, you want to help me out. You, come here. Come up here. Come on up here. I want to help you understand this idea, the difference between being a servant and a steward. You can come on up here. Come on up here. Don't hurt yourself, careful. Being a servant and a steward and an owner. What's your name?
Aspen.
Aspen?
Yeah.
This is my friend Aspen. Okay, now, Aspen, I have something I want to give you. It's $20.
Yeah.
Okay? There's a $10 bill and 2 $5 bills. Now, I want you to catch this. I am the provider of this money, right? Aspen is getting the money from me. That means I'm the provider, so I'm gonna set the purpose for this money. Aspen, this $10 bill, do whatever you want with it. Spend it, go out to eat, whatever you want to do. Pay your bills, I don't know. But this $5 bill I want you to give to one person, and this $5 bill I want you to give to someone else, okay? That's what I want you to do. There you go.
Right
Really?
now?
Yeah, you don't have to give it to them right now, but just at some point, $10 is yours, but the 2 5s, give away to somebody. Give it up for my friend Aspen, everybody, okay? Now, who provided that money? I did. And did I give a purpose for that money to Aspen? Yeah, I did. Now, let me ask you this. Imagine I come back next week. I'm like, what's up, Aspen? How you doing? Good to see you again. And I say, hey, who'd you end up giving those 2 $5 bills to? And she's like, oh, see, what had happened was, the way my bank account is set up, and she's like, I actually spent it all on myself. How do you think I would feel about that? Frustrated? Disappointed maybe? Why? Because as the provider of the money, I gave it a purpose. And rather than fulfill the purpose I gave it, she just kept it all for herself. And what I want you to understand and ask yourself is, how do you think God feels when he sees us take everything he's given us and keep it for ourselves? God's the one who provided everything we have. And he is the one who gave it to us with a purpose to steward it so that other people can benefit from what he's given us as well. We have to see ourselves as servants and stewards, not owners. The second key to living a generous lifestyle is this: we have to start letting go instead of holding on. Start letting go instead of holding on. And I want you to see what each servant does with the money that their master gives them. They all do something a little different. Check this out. The servant who received the 5 bags of silver, he began to invest the money, and he earned 5 more. The servant with 2 bags of silver also went to work, and he earned 2 more. But the servant who received the 1 bag of silver dug a hole in the ground, and he hid the master's money. Now, the first 2 servants, they took the money, and they made more with it. The first 2 servants, I don't know what they did. I don't know if they got into crypto. I don't know if they started investing in stocks. I don't know if they got financial advisors. I don't know what they did. But I do know this. They got to work, they released that money, and they made more. It tells us they doubled what they were giving. But the 3rd servant literally buries his in the ground. And eventually the master comes back. The story continues. The master comes back, and the 2 servants that made money, that were willing to let it go, they come to the master and they give him what they made, and they get celebrated. But the servant who buried it, he actually gets punished for doing the wrong thing with the master's money. So what do you think is the difference between the first 2 servants and the 3rd one? It's that the servants who multiplied their money, they were willing to let it go, to release control, to take a risk. They traded it, released it. The other servant, he just couldn't let go. He held on to it to the point where he buried it. See, the 3rd servant couldn't get past what I call the mine mentality. You ever heard a little kid say mine? That's the mine mentality. I see it play out in my kids all the time. It's when my kids lock into this stubborn refusal to let something go. They just will not let it go. Particularly, I see this in my 2-year-old son, Ezra. My son, Ezra, he has a best friend that lives in our neighborhood named Beckett. And Ezra and Beckett, these boys are only 3 weeks apart in age. They play together all the time. They have so much fun together. They get pumped up when they see each other. But what I've noticed with Ezra and Beckett is they have a really hard time playing catch together. It's so weird. Every single time we try to get them to play catch, the mine mentality kicks in. And guess what? One of these boys takes the ball and runs away. Why? Because they want to keep that ball for themselves. They want to hold on to it. They think it's mine. So they're not willing to let it go. What they haven't understood is to actually play catch, to actually enjoy playing catch with that ball, they need to be willing to let the ball go. As long as one of them is holding on to it, they're the only one who can enjoy it. That if they actually are willing to let it go and throw it to someone else, then they can both enjoy playing catch. And playing catch with someone else is always way more fun than playing catch by yourself, right? Woo, woo, that gets old really fast. And that's just a tiny little picture, Rev, that I hope can help you understand this reality of what Jesus is trying to teach us here. And as long as you and I have a mind mentality with our stuff, as long as you try to get as much as you can and hold on to it, you'll never actually experience the potential and the joy of sharing what you have with other people. So the only way my son can truly experience the fun and the joy and the potential of playing catch is if he's willing to let it go and throw it to his buddy. And the only way that you and I will experience the true potential of what God has given to us is when we're willing to let it go and share with others. And here's a picture of what could happen if we all started letting go a little bit more. The same researchers who did that research on how much Christians actually give, they did some research on what if every committed Christian actually started letting go and giving 10% of what they make. Here's what they discovered. It would be $46 billion that would be able to accomplish 1 million new clean water drilling projects a year. It would also be able to accomplish preventing and treating malaria worldwide. Malaria would be gone. That they could provide food, clothing, shelter for over 6.5 million refugees in Africa, Asia, and the Middle East. And then it could fund 150,000 missionaries to take the love and message of Jesus and share it across the world. It could triple the amount of money that's being spent to translate and distribute Bibles to the 2,737 groups of people who still don't have a Bible in their own language. There's so much that could be accomplished. And this list actually keeps going on and on. But it's only possible if Christians like you and me, if you are a follower of Jesus, are willing to start letting go. And the final key is this, and I think it's actually the most important. To live a generous life, you have to trust a generous God. To live a generous life, you have to trust a generous God. And what I want you to see in the last part of this story that we're going to look at is how the third servant, that servant that buried his money, the servant that wasted his potential, how does he explain to his master why he did the wrong thing? He says this, the servant with the one bag of silver came in and he said, Master, I knew you were a harsh man, harvesting crops you didn't plant and gathering crops you didn't cultivate. I was afraid. Fear is the number one thing that keeps us from being generous, isn't it? He says, I was afraid I would lose your money, so I hid it in the earth. Look, here's your money back. He did the wrong thing with his master's money. And why did he do the wrong thing with his master's money? He did the wrong thing because he had the wrong view of his master. I don't want you to miss that. The kind of steward that you are going to be is determined by the kind of master you think you have. See, this third servant, he believed his master was harsh, cruel, unjust, and unfaithful. He didn't trust that his master was good and generous, and so he was afraid. He was afraid to let go. He was afraid to take chances. But here's the thing. It wasn't actually true. This master was fair and just. This master was willing to entrust this servant with his money in the first place. And then he was willing to celebrate the other servants who were faithful with what they were given. See, this servant, he just couldn't be generous because he didn't believe he served a generous master. And so here's my question for you. What's your view of the master? What is your view of God? Who do you believe God to be? Do you believe that God is harsh, cruel, and unjust? Because if you do, you're gonna have a really hard time trusting God and letting go. And you're gonna end up being the kind of person who buries your potential because you're too afraid to take a chance. So how can we know that God really is generous? Well, the answer is look to Jesus. Because Jesus is the only true picture of what God is like. If you ever wonder, what is God really like? All you have to do is look to Jesus. Is Jesus generous? Yep. He's so generous that he's generous to the point of giving his life for you and for me on the cross. Is Jesus harsh or cruel? Nope. He's humble and kind and gracious. And he doesn't just give us what we deserve, he actually gives us what we don't deserve. So if Jesus is generous and humble and gracious, well, that shows us what God is like. And the truth is, if your picture of God doesn't look like Jesus, then you've got the wrong one. And when you know Jesus, then you know a God who's so generous, he gave everything, including his life for you. And then you can be generous because you're able to trust in a generous God. Knowing a God that's willing to give his life is the ultimate life hack for a lifestyle of giving. And here's what I want to do tonight, Rev. Instead of just talk to you about giving, I want to actually give you a chance to practice it. And so we are actually partnering with an organization called Feed One, where you have an opportunity to give. And what Feed One does is they provide meals, food, and education for children all around the world. And I want you to watch one more video. Just get a little glimpse of what Feed One does. Check this out.
Tucked away in the mountains of Nepal lies the remote village of Kimtong. In Kimtong, 11-year-old Manas gets ready for school. with the excitement of knowing that there will be a hot meal for him there. Today's meal means so much to Manas because he remembers a time when one meal a day wasn't a guarantee. Manas's journey to this table began 2 years earlier on a day that he will never forget. On April 25th, 2015, a 7.8 magnitude earthquake struck Nepal, killing nearly 9,000 people and causing widespread destruction. The people in remote villages like Kim Tong were hit the hardest.
मम्मी र म बहिनी जङ्गलमा थियो भूकम्प आयो फेरि झरिरहेको माथिबाट झरिरहेको थियो बाटोबाट भूकम्प आएर हाम्रो बाबाको चाउचाउहरू खान्थ्यो चाउचाउले बिरामी भएको थियो
Convoy of Hope immediately responded to the disaster by delivering emergency supplies and much-needed help. Then, in 2016, we made a commitment beyond our disaster response to the people of Kim Tong. Alongside the local church and hundreds of parent volunteers, Convoy of Hope launched a daily feeding program.
अरूलाई पनि फेरि चाउचाउहरू बिस्कुटहरू खाएर कस्तो छि सबैलाई मेरो म फर्स्ट भयो भनेर भविष्यमा डाक्टर बन्न चाहन्छु कहिले पानी ल्याइदिन्छ अरूलाई सहयोग गर्ने
When you think back to the time of the earthquake, you can see how something as simple as a meal has transformed Manas's life and given him hope for the future. All because of a meal that you made possible.
So with $10, Feed One can feed a child like that for an entire month. Think about that. You and I spend $10 on one meal at Chipotle. For that same $10, they can feed a child just like that boy for an entire month. And so here's my challenge to you, Rev. What if every single one of us gave at least $10? That means we could feed over 700 children across the world. So you have an opportunity, not just to hear a message about giving today, but to practice giving, to make a decision that you're gonna live a lifestyle, that you're gonna start letting go, that you're gonna start trusting a generous God, that you are gonna see yourself as a servant and a steward. So in your small groups tonight, your small group leader is gonna give you an envelope. You can give money tonight if you want to, and you can also give money when you come back next Wednesday. But this is a chance, I pray you don't pass it up, to make a difference in a child's life, but also to make a difference in your own life by beginning to practice the life hack of giving. Let me pray for you. Jesus, thank you that you are the ultimate example of giving. You gave everything, even your life on the cross for us. So Jesus, would you help us follow your example? Would you help us trust? Would you help us see ourselves as servants and stewards? Would you help us have the courage to start letting go of what you've entrusted to us? I pray that these teenagers listening to this message would catch it in their heart, that they would truly make a massive difference in the lives of children all around the world because they decided to give. In Jesus' name, amen. Love you, Rev.